Is it time to reveal your real magic and become seen, known, and valued? Hi everyone, I hope you're having a great week, and if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, enjoying some warm spring weather. So today we are talking about ditching the critics. And if we haven't met before, hello, I am Rionach Aiken. Hi Caroline, nice to see you. I'm Rionach Aiken and I'm a visibility mentor. Deep dive to clear the blocks for visionary leaders, soulful business owners, coaches, transformational experts, so you can really show up and share the transformation that you have to offer in the world. And one of the things that comes up a lot is this fear of what other people think, and where we, and I know this was a huge thing for me for many years, but where we really feel we carry the wounds of critical words. And we've got those memories of, oh my God, I just wish the ground would swallow me up. This red-faced, tongue-tied, embarrassing feeling like there's harsh energies coming from other people, and that we feel exposed, like we've got no skin, because we do live in a critical world, and especially growing up, we're so sensitive to all of this. And I'd love to know how this has affected you in your life, because I know for me, for decades, I really avoided showing up in front of groups. I mean, even a group of 5 or 6 people, I'll be like, oh, I'm really, really uncomfortable stepping in front of people. And if I had to do any presentation, literally no sleep at all, and a lot of anxiety around it. It was my worst nightmare, stepping in front of groups. It's like, nope, and I will avoid that at all costs. So whether it's memories of playground bullies or family members, because gosh, kids can be pretty rough with each other, whether it's older family members, parents, teachers, authority figures, bosses, co-workers, friends. We live in a world where we can all react critically with each other, and it leaves a mark. And criticism is actually used to control and suppress us because it works. Our brains are wired to respond to negative feedback, and we remember it better. So people do it to us to try and get us to behave in a certain way, often to protect us, but also to control us, because giving negative feedback gives critics a lot of power. So I'd love to, and it is possible, I know it's possible, if I can do it, it's possible for you as well, to unfreeze these habitual responses, and to get where they're, it's not that we're ever completely immune, but it doesn't stop us. It doesn't stop us from showing up in the way that we want to. So I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's your experience? Just say hello. And let me know what's your experience for this being critical and receiving criticism, and how it's affected you. If you're watching the replay, just say hi, put in replay, and I'd love to know what your experience is. And I will come back and respond to all comments in the group later. So one of the things that really helps with addressing this freezing response that we have to criticism is to shift our mindset from a fixed mindset into a growth mindset. There's a brilliant book, and I'll share the link later, written by Carol Dweck, who's a professor of psychology, called Mindset, and she's done a lot of research on this. And what she has shown is that there are 2 different mindsets. We all have both of them in different areas of our lives and at different times. The fixed mindset and the growth mindset. And the fixed mindset is where we believe that our talents are innate, or we don't have, or we either have that talent or we don't. So it's like, I'm just not good at that. I'm just not good at tech. I'm just not good at maths. I'm just not good at speaking. Or we say, I'm naturally gifted at, with people, or I'm naturally gifted, with doing deep transformation work, because you're intuitive and sensitive, and that's one of your gifts. And the growth mindset, is where we believe and shift into a belief about ourselves that the talents we have can be developed through giving it a go, through showing up, through trying, through practice, and hard work and effort. And that's the growth mindset. And what her research has shown is that people with the growth mindset tend to achieve more, and tend to, even if they're not the most talented people, because they believe that with practice they will get better. They really go further, and she's got lots of amazing examples there as well. And this is all. And one of the key things about having a growth mindset. Oh, hi, Stephanie. Lovely to see you here. One of the key things about having a growth mindset is, just being open to learning, and also being willing to be imperfect, being willing to make mistakes, and just kind of going, oh, that's a mistake. I'm going to learn from that. Rather than, oh, that's a mistake. That means that there's something wrong with me. I'm not talented. I just can't do this. And I need to just go in, hang my head in shame. So the growth mindset is really powerful. But often, what is not easy about attaining a growth mindset is when we get triggered into fixed mindset responses. So that's what happens. And sometimes when we have a lot of beliefs about ourselves in a certain area, I don't want to, show up, I don't want to be speaking, we get triggered into those old fixed mindset responses. So, and that can, trigger our defensiveness, our protection, our habits of hiding, all of that. So when we can recognize those triggers, and that's what we're going to be spending some time on today, and, work through those triggers, then we can get back into growth and showing up imperfectly and brilliantly, and being willing to learn and put ourselves out there until we get more comfortable with that. So yes. So hi, Susan. So Caroline said, I remember giving a presentation for my last boss and all of my colleagues, and an innovative idea. My colleagues loved the plans. My boss felt that I approached it from a way too spiritual point of view. He wanted to lower my vibrancy. It didn't fit in the company he had built for himself. And once he had given his opinion, the opinion in the entire group flipped. I've never followed up on that very idea. So that sounds like that's quite a painful experience, Caroline, that you really, you put yourself out there, everybody loved it, and then the critic came in, who was your boss, and squashed the idea. And it wasn't the place that could receive your gifts. Susan is saying, letting go of perfection, allowing myself to make mistakes to learn from them. Absolutely. That's key. And then this is that, how do we actually do that? Because it's easy to get into the frozen response when we're carrying these energies. Hi, Leontine. Lovely to have you here as well. So one of the stories I want to share with you about this is one of my mentors and teachers, my teacher for my transformational coaching, facilitation training, Claire Zamet. She has often told the story about when she, 10 years ago, early enough on in her career, she was invited to join some amazing leadership groups, the Deepak Chopra's Evolutionary Leaders Forum and Jack Canfield Transformational Leaders Council. And she was like, oh my God, I'm going to be hanging out with all of these amazing people, Lynn McTaggart, and Neil Donald Walsh, and Bruce Lipton, Lynn Twist, and all these amazing luminaries of the personal development world. And she felt, very insecure about showing up as a leader amongst all these leaders. But what she discovered, And she would always say, the good news is you don't have to be perfect to be a leader, because what she discovered, that all of these amazing names that we know in our industry were very normal and imperfect human beings, and brilliant as well. So she would always say, the good news is you don't have to be perfect to be the leader. I've met them, they're brilliant, they're not perfect either, so don't wait. Don't wait until you're perfect. So I love that story. We don't have to be perfect to be brilliant. So I want to guide you now into a process to do an energy release of where we're carrying critical energy. This is going to be quite a broad spectrum process, and I do, work with people more specifically on the things, but let's see what we can do in a short time together today. So I'm going to invite you to just settle into yourself, breathing your energy deeper down into your body. As we come in to create an energy field together to do some work. And I'm going to invite you to follow me in words. So just speak the words I say out loud after me. And in this energy work, we're going to be doing some partnering with divine intelligence and asking for the energy work to be released from us. So I invite you to, if you can, speak the words out loud after me, or speak quietly depending on where you are and if it's safe to do so. So let's just tune in. So say these words: divine intelligence, work with me at every level of my being to completely erase every trace of any imprint that I carry as a result of experiencing critical energies, painful criticisms, judgments, controlling figures in my life. That have caused me to hold back my brilliance, my wisdom, my contribution, and my self-expression in the world. Go to the origin of any experiences and interpretations that I made that set these imprints in place, and completely remove my energies from those experiences. So just breathing that in. And so the next step, I'm going to invite you to release the energies of the critics. You may have specific names coming up that you can add in here, or just do it in a general way. So adapt this to suit yourselves. I'd also invite you to add in any additional words that are popping up that feel right for you. So let's do it. Divine intelligence, Completely release and remove the energies of the critics and add in any specific names that you want to add in here. From every aspect of my being. Release the criticism, the judgment, their control, their suppression, their fear, their anger, their blame. And just adding in any words that feel relevant for you. Their jealousy, their malice, and just really feel those energies leaving your system. And now you're going to reclaim your energy back from them, because we give our power to people, we give our energy to people, and that leaves us feeling weaker and more exposed. So just try this in divine intelligence. Now work with all of these critics and add in any names that you've been working with in the most appropriate way for them, and completely release and remove my energies from every aspect of their beings. The energies of my fear, my insecurity, my neediness, my dependency, my self-doubt, my shame, my self-criticism, my hiding, my expectations. And add in any words that feel relevant for you here. My disempowerment, my criticism and judgment, my looking for approval and permission, and just feel yourself reclaiming your energies and taking responsibility for what's yours so you can transmute it, because that's the next step. Divine intelligence, transmute all of these energies in all of us into divine love and return them to their source. Now, and just see yourself removing any hooks or arrows that have been in your system and giving them back to wherever they came from, and reclaiming your energies from anyone you've given your power to, and just claiming it back. Just see that now, see these energies being released. So you're no longer entangled in the critics. You're ditching them. Beautiful. Beautiful. And so now we're going to do a declaration. So you can say to them, "Dear critics, thank you for being in my life, for all the good stuff that you've given me. I give you permission to be who you are, to be imperfect, to make your own mistakes. As you learn and grow in this life. And I claim all of my energy for myself, to follow my own path wherever it leads me. Even if you don't like it. Even if it's different to what you would choose. And just what other words do you need to express here to reclaim your power? Just seeing what wants to be expressed. This is a powerful process. And I really want you to feel yourself coming back fully into your own energy, into your own sovereignty, into your own sovereign energy field where you get to decide what you experience in life. Really feel that you're standing tall, you're claiming your space fully. And inside this sacred space that is yours, that no one tells you what to do, I'm going to offer you some words and you choose what feels right for you. But this is a declaration to the world. This is a declaration to all the critics. I'm done. You don't get to have a space in my life anymore. Your critical voices that are not helpful, you're not coming in. They stay at the door. You may have other good stuff, but that stuff, that stays at the door. I'm not allowing it in. I get to decide who I want to influence my life. And I get to surround myself with people who will lift me up when I need it. With people who will pick me up when I fall. You may still be in my life, but I get to choose how close you come. I get to choose what parts I share with you and when I'm ready to share them. And just feel, what words do you want to say? What's your declaration? One of the things that's good to see is like, sometimes, yes, I will want developmental feedback. Sometimes it's valuable to get some input that helps me to grow and evolve. But unless you've already done what I'm working on, unless you have results and I can genuinely learn from you, I'm not inviting your feedback. I'm doing something that you don't know about. I'm not inviting your feedback. You need to be in the arena to earn that right. So just really getting clear, this is who I want feedback from, and all the other critics is like, no, you're not here doing it. Beautiful. And I invite you, if you're putting yourself out there on the online space and you feel vulnerable in that space, here's another declaration for you. Just make this decision. If you attack me online, I will delete your comments and block you. No discussion, no questions. I'm not asking your permission. That's what will happen. Fierce boundaries. This is my sacred space. You're not welcome. Feel the energy of these declarations. Which ones have resonance for you? Which other ones do you want to step into and declare right now? And I am committed to doing whatever it takes to learn and grow and show up in ways that feel aligned for me. Brilliantly, imperfectly, my way. So just feel your commitment to growing beyond the critics, to being with people who are in the arena with you. Gorgeous. So as you feel into your own declarations, I'm just going to share a beautiful poem with you. And I would love to hear your declarations. Do post them in the chat when you're ready as I speak this poem by Donna Markova. I will not die and unlive life. I will not live in fear of falling or catching fire. I choose to inhabit my days, to allow my living to open me, to make me less afraid, more accessible, to loosen my heart so that it becomes a wing, a torch, a promise. I choose to risk my significance, to live so that which came to me as seed goes to the next as blossom, and that which came as blossom goes on as fruit. I will not live in fear of falling or catching fire. I choose to inhabit my days. I choose to risk my significance. So just feel into your own declaration here and post in the comments. Let me know what's resonating with you here. And I want to share a story with you of a client of mine who I spoke to again recently. And she was somebody who, when I first met her, she was really struggling with being tongue-tied and having brain freeze, particularly for her when she spoke to powerful men in business. You know, her bosses who she worked with as a consultant and as a strategist, and she was kind of wondering, why is it that I'm, not my usual confident self with these people? And what we uncovered is there was quite a lot of energy of bullies in her life, from both her siblings, a moment, with a parent of a very sharp put down, playground bullies, who bullied her because she was often standing up for the other misfits in the school, so she got harshly bullied. And then a couple of bosses that she'd worked for in her corporate career that really, because they were jealous, they were, putting her down and giving her a very hard time. So there was a lot of critical energies to release. And as we worked through these session by session and released these energies, she really discovered who she was. She reclaimed her inner visionary. She gave herself permission to be vulnerable and strong at the same time, and saw how that her vulnerability helped her to grow. And her strength was valuable as well. And she showed up as this gorgeous, fierce, passionate advocate of diversity and inequality in her work, which was helping businesses with their strategies. And so now she was sharing with me that she shows up at networking events, and she said, "This is who I am, this is what I do, and I'm here to redress power and embrace diversity and inclusion." And she leads with her vision. She leads with her authenticity, and people love her. She gets invited to participate. She showed up at somebody's event, and they said, "Oh, let's collaborate. Let's do something together." And she encountered the boss, the CEO of a big company. It was a chance encounter, but she said, "Oh, can I pitch you an idea for one of my projects?" And he said, "Sure." And she just went for it, and it was really well received. And she said, "I would never have done that before." So this is what's possible when we release these critical energies. So let's see, see what we've got as well. Stephanie is saying, I Dancing in Nature did a protocol on how to connect with people without losing myself. Was just start disappointing people. That kicked in and touched immediately my deepest fear, but I understand what I needed to do. That's really beautiful. We can't please everyone, and we can't keep everyone happy. So beautiful, Stephanie. So that's gorgeous. So let me know if you have any other comments, what resonated with you for this process, what you're committed to, what your declaration is, to ditch the critics and to show up as who you fully are. And if you need some support with clearing some specific experiences that you've had so that you can really show up as who you are, fully and vibrantly alive, get in touch with me, message me and have a call. And that's it for today. It was gorgeous to connect with you, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye for now.